and I wanted to talk to you about where I am right now. Last time I came on, if I can remember right, I was talking about the parasite cleanse that I was doing. This has been one of my focuses for about a decade now, is just being able to rid my body of parasites. And so I told you I was taking diatomaceous earth, the food grade kind, and I had worked up to about 1 heaping tablespoon a day. Just add it to water for myself. And I will stop here and just say this is for entertainment purposes only. It's not education. I'm not an expert in anything, not a doctor, not a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. I am just sharing my own experiences, and I'm not recommending anyone do anything. Do your own research, and we're all in this together, so we can learn from one another, and just keep doing what we can do as we move forward, doing the next right thing in the steps that we take. So I was taking I've been taking for 60 plus days, 1 heaping tablespoon of diatomaceous earth, the food grade powder, in about 8 ounces of water in the morning time upon waking up. And I just noticed that I had some more energy, hair feels stronger, nails feel stronger, and just some improvements there. But I still had itching in my hand and some in my feet, and still just, I could tell with symptoms of my nails and stuff that there were issues. Parasites are more active at night, so of course that's when I was experiencing it more, itching in the toes and different areas. And so I was like, okay, um, what is next? I shared that I did the Parapurge and with, I think it was the free range supplements. Here's my cat coming up, Moomy. You can say hi? It's all wet. Here's Moomoo. He's purring. Say hi, Moomoo. Hi, Moomoo. But I took that and I did the 10 days on, 5 days off, and then 10 days on again. And after the first 4 days, I had some brain fog and stuff. So I was trying to make sure as much as possible I was eating living foods and making sure that they were able to excrete from my body. So colon cleanse type stuff, just, yeah, making sure that I was regular. And so anyways, had some good energy after the first 4 days it was good. And then the 4 days, after 4 days, I was kind of like in a brain fog, and then it got better. And then the second time it wasn't too bad at all. Then, hi. Then I did, over the last couple weeks, I decided to do some neem powder. And so I've just been adding that to my tea. And then I think I brought up about the quassia that I have. Let me get it out. Sorry, Moomy. There, Bubba. And so it's this stuff that I think I brought up. And it's bitter wood. And so you put that in your tea, and by golly, if it doesn't put hair on your chest, like my grandma used to say, I'm not sure what would. But actually, it's pretty comparable to neem. And I just would put 1 stick or 2 if they're small in my tea and let it steep for at least 15 minutes or for the whole day as I was drinking it. Still having issues. But I wanted to add that when I started taking the neem over the last couple weeks, guess what happened? Well, they started, and I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting, but they started to, like, my hands started to crack, the skin, and there was a lot of movement. I've been using some fungal Dr. Morse's salve, but in between the fingers, I wish you could see it better, but you can kind of see it. It's there. I'll show a picture too, maybe in the video. And it's like, boy, they're really just like being active, and they know that they are being told from many declarations that I've made on all levels for them that I do not consent to them being in my body or in my family or anywhere in my presence, in my living being at all, to that they need to be gone, that I do not consent to contract in any way, any form, across all time, space, dimensions, um, you know, lifetimes, all of that, and beyond space time. So, it's like as you invoke the higher spiritual courts or higher courts, if you don't want to use the word spiritual because you relate it to religion or whatever, I don't want to get into any of that, because we're all in different stages, different levels of coming up and rising up, or some say waking up, to actually come back into our bodies and to ground. So from what I'm saying is that in those higher courts, we are able to invoke for assistance to help us, our true selves of who we truly are outside of all of this programming and indoctrination. So what I have come to is like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just do the next step. I had horses all of my life. I've talked to some of my friends who had horses, and recently talked to someone dear to my heart who also has come to this place of going to be using some ivermectin. Again, I am not saying that the FDA and all of that says do not use this, right? It's not for use in humans. And on their website, they have something on that. And I'm sure they have a warning on, they do have a warning here, but it actually has an exclamation on the picture where I got this. And so I'm not like recommending anyone do anything. This is my own journey. And I've looked up what to do. I've talked to people who have been doing it for a long time and what they've done and what their experience has been, and it's been very positive. And so I thought, yep, I'm going to go on and just document where I'm at and what happens with this and with my toes, which I might turn around the video or I'll just show pictures of, but it's still, I have that fungus toe where I could really feel the worms moving around in there, and they just wreaked havoc. And to look at it, you would think, oh yeah, it's just athlete's foot or fungus, which is, everything's interconnected. So yeah, there's probably a little bit of both, but my thumbnail used to be awful, and it has healed tremendously from where it was, which it started, that's where my toe started. And then it came to where, the toenail started getting thick and the whole fungus thing happened, which is a combination of just weakening of my cells. So I won't just keep blabbing on about things, but I wanted to come on to say that I started this today, and I did look through different warnings about taking it repeatedly. This is really, and I'll have to do more searching and talking to people, but it's more for like a one-time use for like the month. And then I've seen that some people will take the same amount that you took, 30 days later, and take maybe that amount, and then they didn't really say what they did next. So we'll see on that, but some people just take it monthly. But for me right now, with what I've looked at, is I'm not going to be taking it daily, because that's when some toxicity can build up in the body, in animals, in people. And so I'm going to just go with what I have now. And so what I found is that each notch on the syringe that I used to give to my horse, which I would give my horse the entire thing, most of them, except for like when mare was my, you know, my mare was younger, I would give her, she was 1,000 pounds at one time. So you just move the notch to where you want it, you turn it, and to what you need. So each notch on here, each of these notches, it's in between that this goes, and each of those is for 50 pounds in humans. So it said in one of the places that I looked that basically you do what your body weight is, and if you um, are 150 pounds, you're going to end up taking 3 notches. And so you just put it to the 3 notches. And if you have cancer, it says, then you take more. Of course, those different conversations, when you go to them and you try to click to them, they've been deleted. So you can't actually get to what was talked about by people because of the monitoring of things. And that's why, again, I state that this is for entertainment purposes only and for my own documentation of where I am and how things are going to progress in my journey of standing on my own 2 feet and claiming my own power and authority to live and to create and co-create a earth that is for all, like, living beings, that honors all life. So this is where I'm at, and I did get the apple flavored kind. It did say actually paste on it, but when I did it, it's actually the gel, and it was not bad at all. I mean, compared to the neem powder that I took and the quassia stuff, it was like piece of cake, like whatever. If I would have got the other kind, probably different. It probably would have been similar to those, but it was like I just took some of my neem tea afterwards, and it was great. So that's that. I will come back for an update and let you guys know how I'm feeling and what's going on. I'm going to wait, I think, the 30 days. I'm going to do some more research in the meantime and just see what other people have experienced, talk to my friends, and go from there. So also I looked up for the dogs. I haven't for the cats yet because the cats are going to be way less, but the dogs, they said just do a dab of it. And so I just did a tiny bit and had them, I went to see if they were going to lick it first because I didn't think it was that bad, but they didn't want to lick it. So I just kind of opened up their gums and, you know, their teeth and put it in, not like horses where you jab it all the way back, you know, so they don't taste it and spit it out, but they did great. So I guess the cats are next, and we'll go from there. I hope you guys are good. Let me know if you've tried this, and we'll just keep moving along and the steps we're taking to create and co-create a life that is honoring for all living beings and together, and to remember that there's no enemies outside of ourselves. All is self, and we need to go inside to heal. The way out is in. And I will leave with just a comment. I have been connected with information about Irene, or from Irene Lyons, on healing the nervous system. You can find her on YouTube. And I'm on the beginning steps of really getting to heal trauma that is stored deep within my own body, my cells, to be able to come back into myself and my body to feel and heal and to move forward in being who I came here to be, doing what I came here to do. So I love you guys, and if you want to check her out, that would be great. She has a website with lots of free resources as well. So on that note, we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.